This week, the goal is to get freshwater plumbing done throughout the boat. That means getting plumbing from the tanks back to the systems room and then the rest of the way throughout the boat, including stubs and all that stuff. One of my goals here is to make sure that this plumbing system is as simple and straight as possible. I don't want to have to deal with this in the future, and so we're going to make it a very robust system. And speaking of plumbing, at the end of the episode, we're going to be installing a shiny new object. So I've got a good start on this already, and I'll show you what I've done. You'll remember our fresh water tanks are outboard, and so the water will come out of the tanks here at the bottom. I'm using PEX A to run all the plumbing lines. This is 3/4 PEX, so it's coming out of the tank there. There's tanks on both sides, so they come to a T here, and then these valves will be to select which tank I'm pulling water from, and then it goes aft back to the systems room. So water comes from the tanks through this freshwater feed line. All the pumps and everything are back here in the systems room. And so it'll go through filters, it'll be pushed through a pressure tank. There will be the hot water or the water heater back here. So all the fresh water comes back here, gets and then pressurized throughout the rest of the boat as our domestic water system. There's a hot and cold line going back forward over here. There will be another hot and cold line going aft for the cockpit shower. Yanni was just wondering, why would we even take water back to the systems room? That's because it's the systems room, and we want, the noise and everything of the machines pressurizing the water to be back here out of the living space. And so that's why the water comes all the way back here, and then we'll push it through the rest of the boat. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
So I mentioned that I'm using PEX A, and this is PEX plumbing. It's just, I can't remember what PEX stands for, but it's a plastic tubing piping. This is 3/4 PEX. And what's really cool about this stuff is, in order to make the fittings that 90-degree or T fittings or putting in valves or whatever, they use these collars that are they're expandable collars that are expanded by my expander tool. And I'll get into more of this as we go through the project. The other challenge I had with this was I'm really trying hard to make this bulkhead watertight. And so you can see here this is my freshwater feed line, and then my outgoing hot and cold lines. I glued in just some fiberglass tubing into the wall. That's where the PEX passes through. I made my fitting where the elbows are, and then I took some heat shrink tubing. It's like really big heat shrink tubing that it shrinks, I think, like 3-to-1. So it shrinks down 3 times its original diameter. I shrunk that around the fittings right where they go through the bulkhead, and that way I can even put a hose clamp on it. And so now those are totally sealed so that if water comes up inside this systems room, nothing will go out to the other side of the bulkhead. It was just something I thought of. It made sense to me, and it's a cheap and easy way for me to get those through bulkhead fittings done. So the next step is to just continue installing the plumbing all the way forward through the head and all the way up into the forward locker. And the challenge with this is to try and make this system be as smooth and straight, easy for water to flow through as possible. So there'll be a lot of hole drilling and crawling into tiny spaces, but it'll be very satisfying to get this done. From the galley, the hot and water lines are coming along the water tank, and then they're diving aft outboard towards the hole, and then they're going into the head. They're going to be back behind the wall here in the shower, and so I've got to drill actually 3 holes back there, and then they're going to come through the bulkhead here and along the hole under the cabinet inside the head, and they'll pretty much terminate right here, except, well, the hot water will terminate here. The cold water will continue forward up to the forecastle. Okay, I'm gonna start pushing these water lines through. This might be, it'll probably be pretty hard, like pushing them through around all these places, but we'll see how it goes. So now I'm going to keep pushing and it's going to come out into this cabinet. Okay, so now we're going to do the blue line, the cold water. Did it go through?
Yep.
Did it hit the other side?
Oh no, you have like 6 inches.
How's that?
Really far from the next hole. You want me to guide it in?
Sure.
Another 1/2 inch. Wanna try pushing it? It's in. Here, 1 second. Ooh, it's stuck. Here, let me take the screwdriver out. Okay. Okay, you made it to the next bulkhead.
So that's essentially the long run that has to happen. I just got to connect the two together. So I'm going to connect these two to the previous ones I ran from aft, and then we'll have one long run through the boat. Just gotta let it shrink. So I'm just gonna let that shrink down before I let it go.
Hey Matt, have you ever done plumbing on a boat before?
Oh yeah, tons of plumbing. I've never designed my own plumbing system, but it can't be that hard.
Famous last words.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, our boat is not complicated by any stretch when it comes to systems like these. We have a sink and one head. There's 2 sinks and 1 shower. There's actually going to be, there's also the shower in the cockpit.
And we have a composting toilet, so no plumbing for that.
Right. So these 2 are made, and so now I've got one long run through the boat. I've left this a little long so that I can trim off the forward end. But yeah, looks good. So I think what I want to do next is put in the spurs for the sink, the galley sink.
Let's do it.
So the main line through the boat is 3/4 inch, but our spurs are 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go get our 1/2 inch line.
Did you buy this tool just for today?
No, I bought this tool a while back for doing a hydronic heating project on a boat. It's very, very, very handy. Makes professional looking connections and very good connections in this PEX plumbing.
What was the state of Duracell's original plumbing when you pulled it out 4 years ago?
Oh. It was, it was extremely basic because he had a sink and a toilet was all that there was as far as like freshwater plumbing. The more extensive plumbing was the ballast tank plumbing. There was tons and tons and tons of big pipes and hoses that all had to come out and be thrown away as all moldy, full of rats.
Inside the pipes?
They had chewed through a lot of the hoses and gotten in there. Now these are my spur lines that I'm going to use to connect the main line to the sink. They were out of red and blue at the store, so I'm just going to mark the hot line this way. So I have one more hot water line to come off of the main line here. And that's because we are in fact installing a small dishwasher right here in this space. It's a half tall dishwasher. It's a drawer style. So that's a pretty good start. Getting the galley done. I gotta install the spurs in the head, and then I'm going to take a cold water line, fresh water line, all the way up to the bow to probably the windlass box, and so that I have fresh water rinse down at the windlass for the windlass and the anchor chain for the anchor. It's very much a luxury that we have all this water on board, and so we can use it every once in a while to just rinse the salt off of the anchor chain and the anchor and the windlass. So yeah, might as well take advantage of that and take a freshwater line up there. Okay, we're switching gears. Before I can install the plumbing in the systems room, I have to finish a project I started a few weeks back. One of the projects that I'd like to get done this week is installing the pegboard that's going to go on this. This is the bulkhead on the forward side of the systems room. As you remember, I put all the sound insulation up and the trim or the framing that kind of goes around this sound insulation. I'm going to be putting pegboard on, and the reason for the pegboard is to kind of protect the insulation and also make it so that I can mount stuff to this wall. I can't mount stuff very well to this sound insulation. So I don't know if you remember, but I asked for some advice or some ideas that anybody may have regarding pegboard, and what I came up with, or what came out of the comments, was just some plastic stuff that I can get from a local distributor. And so it looks just like normal pegboard. You'll see it, but it's just plastic, so it'll work great for this application. But as you can see, for right now, what I'm doing is templating all these spaces, and then I'll go cut these out and get it installed. It'll look really nice, I think, when it's done. Doesn't it look nice?
It does look nice.
Once the pegboard was installed, I could start running freshwater plumbing into the engine room.
Lately, when Alder and I are exploring the forest, Alder has led me up the steps of the big boat to see what Dad is up to. This next part, we didn't film intentionally or anything. The GoPro just happened to be running, and I thought it was pretty cute, so I'll share some snippets.
So cool. Yep. Look at this.
I think Matt is having the most fun here.
Yeah. Here, this, you can drop this. Here, I'll take this. You can hold these. They're heavy. Wow! There's also the screwdriver. You can hold this. I can hold this too. Yep, those are the lights. This is the hot and cold water coming from the water pump and water heater forward to the main cabin. This is the fresh water feed line that comes from the tanks and runs aft to the pumps, filters, and water heater before getting pumped to the rest of the boat.
Ooh la la. Think it's gonna fit, Matt?
We'll see. I measured about 100 times.
Hey, fits like a glove.
That's fancy. That's pretty cool. You can't believe what?
Can't believe we're gonna have a dishwasher on our boat.
I know. We are very spoiled. So there's a person we have to thank for this dishwasher, Chris, who reached out to us months ago and said that he would like to contribute to the project by buying us something that we normally wouldn't buy for ourselves. And when this offer was made to us, Yanni and I immediately thought of a dishwasher. So thank you, Chris, for spoiling us and for saving us lots of time in the future washing dishes. It was really fun to meet him. We came out to the boat and we got a tour, gave him a tour and everything. So thank you so much, Chris. Of course, thank you to everybody who's contributed to our project. It would not be what it is without you. And that's a wrap on the plumbing project for now, I guess. It's we got a really good start on it. First, I want to give a shout out to Panu at Arctic Sea Camel. He has a YouTube channel where he's building a really cool boat in Finland. He's an avid watcher of our channel, and we appreciate what he's doing out there building his own boat. Also, we have a new Patreon to thank, Chris, who has been sailing his whole life, doing lasers when he was younger, and now he's a big scow sailor, doing E-scows and MC scows. Races all over, but based out of New York, and he sent us this great shot of some high-speed scow sailing. So thank you very much to Chris and everybody who's been supporting our channel. We really appreciate it. If you would like to join our Patreon community, you can find it at the Dursel Project on patreon.com. And lastly, we hope everybody has a really merry holiday season. We are not going to publish a video next week, but we'll be back the week after. So we'll see you then.